All right, we have to start the stream over. Hopefully this works better. My apologies to everybody. Pre-gym Proverbs live in full effect. I am in Escondido, California, North County, San Diego, if you guys don't know where that is. And the parking lot has like one or two little pockets for decent data for me to go live. So I'm back. I'm live. I'm excited. I'm here at the gym. Trying to get my sleeping thing back into my sleeping cycle back into a better routine ever since they changed the daylight savings time, which I know that they don't do everywhere, but they do it here in California. Since they changed that, it's been kind of weird. So I've been waking up around 6:30 instead of 5:30. But I'm here and I'm excited to get into some pre-gym Proverbs with you guys before I hit the gym. I'm doing Veda. I told you guys about that. Veda is creating a video every day in April. So I'm going to be trying to finish Indy Jones 3 and creating a video every day in April. It's just a kind of a discipline thing for me, and I usually see a good amount of growth on it. So later today, later on my YouTube channel, probably in a couple hours, whenever I get it done, I'm going to be dropping a video there called 3 Tips to Overcoming Writer's Block. 3 tips to overcoming writer's block. Max Garcia, good morning to you. I tell with your vocal cords? I don't know what you mean, my dude. I don't know what you're talking about. So, pre-gym Proverbs, we're going to get it in. I'm going to pin this verse. We're going to talk about it. Yesterday we talked about if you want to be in God's will, you got to do things God's way. Gonna kind of finish following that theme a little bit. So if you want to be in the middle of God's will for your life, which is like a lofty question, what is my purpose? What is the will of God? Right? Well, a lot of us think of that, and they're these really deep philosophical questions. But the answer to those deep philosophical questions is mad simple than you would think, right? Yes, my wife does believe in God. The sleep deprivation. Oh yeah, you talking about because my voice sounds lower? Yeah, I just kind of sound like this in the mornings. But the sleep deprivation, you ain't got my mind messed up. So look, what is the will of God? What is my purpose? What am I here to do? And these are like these super lofty questions, and we think that we can narrow them down. Where am I supposed to live? Who am I supposed to marry? What job am I supposed to do? Right? Those are very, very like broad philosophical questions that a lot of people have been asking, but I think the answer to what is the will of God for your life is actually much simpler than we think. I'll do my best to make this as clean as possible for you guys, so you guys have like an application point. You know what I'm saying? And Proverbs chapter 3, I read a chapter of Proverbs every day. It's April 3rd? No, it's April 2nd. Why am I on it? Is it April 2nd? April 2nd. Well, anyway, I jumped ahead. But I love this passage nevertheless. And it says Proverbs 3:5 says, it says, seek the Lord, do not lean on your own understanding, right? And then this one says, seek his will in all. It says, trust the Lord, do not lean on your own understanding. And then the verse right after says, seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. How do we figure out what our purpose is? How do we figure out what we're supposed to be doing? How do we figure out what job? Who are we supposed to marry? Where are we supposed to live? Well, it's actually simpler than you think. The answer is right here. Seek his will, right? And what? In all you do. Seek his will in all you do. And he will show you which path to take. I remember this story, and it was about Jesus and somebody inviting Jesus into their own home, right? And they invite Jesus, they invite God into their home, and they're like, God, you can come in, you can go into any room you want to. You can go to any room you want to, except this bedroom right over here. This one bedroom over here, I can't let you in. This is my private bedroom. This is where I sleep. I can't help you. And, you know, the first time around, a bunch of demons come. And I know it's going to get a little dark, but just follow me. And they're like, yo, boom, they start fighting with the dude in the living room. And he's fighting off these demons, and he's like, Jesus, 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 help me. The pause is back, for real? Is the pause back? Right in the middle of the story. Right in the middle of the story. Right in the middle of the important story. Is the pause back? Let me know if this video is paused, because that's frustrating. Let me know. Is the video paused, or we good? Because I got to get back to the story. We good? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Blessings to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know if the pause back. I'm just going to keep rolling with it, because it doesn't say it's paused on my end. So hopefully it's not paused. But if it's paused, let me know. So, boom. Guy invites God into his house. Jesus is in his house. He's living with him, and he is hanging out. And he says, hey, you can go into any room in my house, any room. You can go to any parts of my house except my personal bedroom, right? You can't go to this room over here. This is my personal space. So it's paused. Jeez Louise. This is so annoying. Let me move. This data is so trash. All right, I'm going to pull up a little over here. Let's see if this works. All right. Is that better? We pause? Okay, we good now. We good now. All right, my bad, gentlemen and ladies. Okay, now we good. It's good now. Okay, cool. Move the car. All right, back to the story at hand. It's going to take me forever to get out. So look, dude invites God to live with him. Invites Jesus to come over to his house. Jesus is there, living with him, and so frustrating. This must be like really important for me to get this out. It's like on and off pause. It's good right now, though. Okay, look. So, boom, God's there with him. He's like, yo, you're welcome to stay in my house. You can go to any room. You can do anything you want except this room. This is my bedroom. Don't go into this room. This is my bedroom. And he's like, all right, cool, God. That sounds great. You can't go anywhere. Just don't go into my bedroom. So, boom, they're hanging out. Robbers come to attack him. They're getting him. He says, Jesus, help me. Jesus helps him. You know what I'm saying? The next day, they're in the kitchen. Someone else comes. Demons come to attack him. Jesus, help me. Boom, Jesus helps him. And then in the third time around, where did the robbers come? Where did the demons come? They come to his bedroom, the part where he wouldn't allow God to come in. And they come after him again, a third time. And he cries out to Jesus, Jesus, help me. And Jesus is like, yo, you said I can't go into that room. You said that area of your life is off limits. You can't help you in that area because you told me I can't go in there, right? And the dude has this epiphany like, wow, I can't believe that I had this off center that I wouldn't allow God into. And he had to deal with the consequences of that decision to keep Jesus out of a specific area of his life. You know what I'm saying? And I think if we're going to be honest, it's a story. It's not about, right? It's not about, it's not a literal theological theme. Some of you guys are like theological nerds or whatever, you know what I mean? But we do the same thing. We invite God into our lives. We say, God, you can come live with me. You can come into my heart. You can come into my home. You can be a part of everything except this one room over here. This thing over here, I can't let you into this thing over here. I know I'm supposed to give you all of me. I'm supposed to give you all of my heart. I'm supposed to give you everything. But this right here, this little corner, the way I do this business over here, the way I do this relationship over here, the way I do my finances, I can't let you into this thing because this thing is mine. If I let you into this, you're just gonna have too much access and you're gonna have too much of me, and I have to hold on to this thing and this idol. And everybody, when I'm talking about this, I know we know what that thing is. That idol that we're holding on to, that little corner we don't want to let God in, but we're really just setting ourselves up to we're really just playing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Hello, good morning, good morning. We're doing pre-gym Proverbs, talking about a Proverbs a day, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. So seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. So we limit off these things. We say this is isolated. This isn't, I'm going to compartmentalize this part of my life. This part's not for God. This part's not for my faith. My faith is to Sunday morning. My faith is to life group and Bible study. My faith is to here. But this part, I got this part. I don't need you to help me with this part, Lord. I got this part. And I think that's exactly how we play ourselves, is that mentality, that compartmentalization of our faith to specific areas, and not saying, God, you could have all of me, you could have it all, you could take it all, and seeking his will. So first, I think it's the mental thing. We have to have a mental switch. Boom. I'm going to give God every part of my life. 2 is then seeking his will in all you do and in every area, right? Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. So you want to know what God's will is, seek his will in all you do. And you know his will by knowing his ways of doing things, right? You want to know the will of God for your life in a specific area, man, figure out God's ways for that specific area. You want to know God's will for your relationship, you're dating somebody, or you may want to date somebody, figure out what God's will is for that. Is it really going nuts? I'm going to try to leave this up and see if it works. Invite God into all areas of our life. Yep, that's right. That's right. Is this working, Just Jade? Let me know if this is playing clean, because I know you guys are being quiet on the comment section. But yeah, I think inviting God into every area of your life, from your relationships to how you do parenting, to how you handle money, to who you are at work, to who you are with your friends, to who you are at that bowling league you do, or whatever, right? Like, inviting God into every area of your life is going to be the best way to see breakthrough and remain pressing into God's will for your life, instead of just having a compartmentalized view of God. And when we compartmentalize, I know it feels good. It feels like we got skipping back and forth, but I rejoined and it's working now. Okay. I know it feels good. I know it feels good to hold on to something, but we're really just playing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? For where your treasure is, there your heart is. Okay, cool. So it's working. So some of you guys just may have a terrible Wi-Fi and you're blaming me. You're just being vocal, throwing me off. But anyways, okay. So look, seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. He will show you which path to take. It's working for me. It's kind of skipping every now and then. Give up that idol, man. Give up that thing that you've been holding on to. Give up that area that you've been holding on to. I don't know what it is. I mean, some of you guys might think that you pursuing and dating a non-Christian is a good idea. You know what I'm saying? That you think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Or you being married in your heart and fornicating and being sexually immoral is cool. Like, God understands. God understands. We're married in our heart, right? I've heard that crap before. I've said that crap before. You know what I'm saying? When I was brand new to the faith. Some of us are we think we're smarter than God, so we're racking up crazy amounts of debt. We're trying to build a credit score. Got to build your credit, right? And so we're spending more than we make. We're buying things we don't need to impress people we don't like, and we think that's the wave, So seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Proverbs 3:6. I'm trying to date someone to convert them. I see it happens a lot and doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. I haven't even dated anyone before. That's good. Said that too many times. What did you say too many times? Would you say too many times? Danny's brain. You know what? I think we end up playing these games thinking that we have all the answers, and thinking that we're much wiser than we are. And the reality is, we're probably not. The reality is we probably got a lot to learn. The reality is we probably got a lot to discover. And that's why I think having some type of framework, having some type of way of going about life is important. And then having people that can help see and show that, you know. I think one of the things that's most inspiring to me about doing the Patreon, which we do our Sunday night calls, is learning from you guys and allowing you guys through YouTube and this stuff like this to kind of see my life on display in these different areas. I don't show too much of my family, but that's not necessarily like an intentional thing. Sometimes it is, but I don't show too much of my family. But like just showing you guys like my process of somebody that's I'll be 35 this year. I want to show you guys my process and being on the other side of some of these things that we're wrestling through, and hoping and believing that life on display encourages and inspires you guys to know that ultimately, first of all, if you press into God and you love Jesus and you are submitting yourself to his will, the truth is that life is going to get better. Like life is going to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like life is going to get better regardless on how it feels in the moment. It will get better. And then two, that you guys would learn through some of my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You guys will learn through some of my mistakes. The framework has to be the word, the only thing that's restored us this time. Yep. Not going to date until I feel that I am at a point in my life where I could marry someone. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great gauge of when to date. I definitely didn't do it that way. You know what I'm saying? I definitely didn't do it that way. And now it's becoming harder and harder with the way, you know, how much different it is when you move out and all that kind of stuff. When we live together because we're married in our hearts, we don't need an audience. We'll live together because we're married in our hearts, we don't need an audience. That's funny. So I say all that to say, man, you want to know God's will for your life, press into God's ways of doing things. Press into God's ways. Seek his will in all you do in every area of your life. And he will show you which path to take. He will show you which path to take. That's simple but hard. It's simple but hard. You know what I mean? And the things that are best for us are oftentimes exactly that. They're simple, but they're hard. You know what I mean? As I'm about to go into this gym, I started tracking food again on my app. And it's been, you know, it could be challenging, and I feel kind of like stagnant in my fitness development, if you will. And the truth is, I know what I need to be doing. I know I need to eat more protein. I know I need to cut down on some of the carbs and the junk and the sweets. I know I need to get my butt to the gym. I know I need to work hard, right? And work smart. Simple. It's simple, but it's hard. It's hard because if it was easy, then everybody would be walking around with a six-pack, right? If it was easy, everybody would be a millionaire. You know, if it was easy, everybody would build their own business and work for themselves and you know, figure out ways to make residual income and passive income. If life were easy, we could do all kinds of stuff. But it's not that. It's not easy. It's hard. You know, it's hard. But it's simple if we can get the right information. It's simple if we can get the right information. When did you know God, King's Dream was your path? When did I know? That's a great album. Great question. Love that you do this almost every day. It helps me keep my mind on the Lord. Amen. Shame is something that can make it harder for us to be transparent and to invite God into that area. Amen. I feel led to get some Taco Bell right now, but God telling me that there's food at the crib. There you go. You living this in real time, my G. Somebody asked me, when did I know King's Dream was the path? I started King's Dream in 2012. And at the time, I was working a part-time job. I was working with adults with developmental disabilities. I knew that I didn't want to just keep making music for myself. I wanted to make music for with other people and help other people. And then I had this as I was starting King's Dream, I had this weird opportunity to go and work at my church, and I did. I worked at my church for 2 years. I was doing video, and I was helping and teaching, and we were running a young adults ministry. And that was cool because it really propelled and helped us get out of debt faster. And it really taught me a lot of skills in terms of time management and stuff like that. And when did I know? I think if I'm honest with you guys, I think I've always dealt with some degree of doubt in my vocation and what I'm supposed to be doing as an artist. Even though I've been doing music mad long, I've definitely kind of always kept my options open, if you will. Like, I wasn't one of those, like, get to the island and burn the boats type of guy. Some people are like that, And so I wasn't one of those people. I definitely always kept my options open, right? I was going to school. I got a job in my church. I knew ministry was an option for me. And it was the time, and I've told this story before, by Tara, it was the time where I was on tour. We were doing the Southern Junkies tour 2015. Is it 2015? 2015. Just gotten out of debt a little bit before that. Our income was, my wife had Levi in 2014, so our income was really was smaller. Had a brand new newborn, and I knew that my time at the church was ending. And so I called my wife and I said, I was on tour and I could just sense that the tension at the church was like, this isn't good to just be gone this much. And I called my wife and I said, hey, do you think we could potentially pray about leaving the church and putting in a notice and trying to do music full time? And at this point, we had, 6 months of an emergency fund. We were out of debt. Our income, our overhead was very low. And my wife replied to me, and she said, I don't think there's anything to pray about. I think you need to get back here and put in your 2-week notice as quickly as possible. So that was almost, wow, if I think about it, we were coming back from South by Southwest. That was almost 4 years to date that happened. And then it took a little longer, to actually quit and transition out. And that was the moment that I felt like, I think I knew that I was supposed to be an entrepreneur, supposed to be doing music. And I really felt reassured because there was confirmation from somebody else besides my own brain. And what I think God was telling me, it was now external. You know what I'm saying? I've struggled with that too. Everybody is like, you should start and get an idea what you want to do. Decide. And, and there was stuff that I had consumed all along through that. I remember there was when I was working at the church, because I thought of myself as an entrepreneur, but when I was working at the church, this is before Gary Vee really blew up. And there was like a podcast or something he had. This is about the same time, maybe 2013, 2014. And I just remember he said something along the lines of like, either you're an entrepreneur or you're not. And true entrepreneurs can't work for other people or something. It was like so simple, right? It was like either you are or you aren't. Like either you're an entrepreneur or you're not. If you're an entrepreneur, you can't do the job thing. You know what I'm saying? Can't do the job thing. Try talking to military recruiters. They'll change your physique and help you along the way. I don't know. You guys are going back. I'm sorry. And I remember that was like a very man, am I truly an entrepreneur or am I just saying, this is before like entrepreneur was like so booming and kind of, Gary Vee made it really mainstream and cool to be, an entrepreneur. But I remember thinking that like either I am or I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Either I am an entrepreneur or I'm not, And I've decided that I was, and every time I try to work a job or whatever, like it just didn't click. And I was fairly responsible. Like my last job, I was at the church for 2 years. The job before that, I was working with adults with developmental disabilities. That was 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew, and I went to college, which in hindsight, in this era, I probably would not have gone to college if I was honest with you guys. Like if I was 18, 19, in 2019, I definitely don't think I would have went to college right now. Maybe I would have been a punk and allowed my mom to persuade me to go. But yeah, man. So that's the story. You know what I'm saying? Technically, it's a door shot. That makes so. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Seek His will in all you do. Seek His will in your vocation. Seek His will in your employment. Seek His will in your education. Seek His will in your music, your relationship, your finances. Seek His will. And He will show you which path to take. I believe that with every fiber of my being. So You guys have a good day, man. Thank you. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube. I'm dropping a video later when I haven't found any physical or empirical confirmation. I found that the peace of God was the peace of the Lord was the confirmation. Amen. That's good. Yo, I'm gonna be doing the 3 tips to overcoming writer's block later today on the Ruslan KD YouTube channel. You should go subscribe, turn the notifications on so you don't miss that video. And salute to all the Patreons. We appreciate you. I gotta go too. I'm gonna get in this gym. Love you guys. Peace.